Let's get to a few hot political issues. First, Rob Reiner, Steven Spielberg, they're endorsing candidates. Certainly you know a lot more. Who are you endorsing?
Well, I'm not Rob Reiner or Spielberg or.
You're saying
I don't have the resources.
Come on, Goolsby wants Obama. You going with Goolsby? Room for him?
Well,
they say he could be the possibility gets a high-ranking position. In
Goolsby?
Yeah, if Obama.
I tell you, I support Goolsby for anything. So
oh, okay. So therefore, by association, Obama.
Well, I would say, look, I haven't studied all of Obama's policies. He seems smart. He seems articulate. The one thing that it seems to be good about is that it seems so far less polarizing. On the other hand, he's been less specific than some of the other candidates in particular.
But what's the most important thing as a voter? Is specificity like the most important thing? Because clearly, you know, they changed. I mean, you have to compromise with Congress. So what's the best way to decide how to vote someone? I'd say you look at their voting record and you look how they governed before, not what they're saying now. Policy positions to me really don't mean much. Just a general philosophy and morality means the most to me. But maybe you see.
Well, you want to try to read signs of character. I think that's true. But I do agree. But on the other hand, if a person has no thought about a position, I agree with you. Positions come and they go. And
well, they have to have some thought. But in a debate, when you have 30 seconds and you don't know all the facts, it doesn't work like you have to make a decision in 30 seconds. You can say, listen, this is what I generally believe, and I'll release a press release in a week from now that gives you more details if you really want that. I mean, the idea of these quick, like, 1-minute policy positions, which don't mean much.
No, the soundbite is not my favorite expression. You're forcing me into one.
Yeah.
So be careful. You're contradicting yourself.
Okay.
But I mean, no. But the fact is that there really is a no. But I mean, that's just part of politics. You want to see. I mean, in the sense of saying how well composed is this individual? You know, you get a question. That question, if that person's thought the matter through, you'll think in the time when it really counts, it will help to have had that person think through the issue a little bit. So I think that there is a sense in which these debates give you some information, but not a great deal of information.
So
I'm sure of that.
What do you look for? I mean,
for a candidate? Well, remember, I'm just an ordinary voter here. What would I look for? No, I am. I'm not casting any decisive votes. What I look for, I think you'd look for a level of integrity, and I think you'd look for a level of consistency. The thing that I think is probably more important in this coming election is somebody who really kind of unifies. We're very divided now. We really are divided over the war in Iraq. There's a lot of feeling about inequality. I'm worried about candidates who might polarize people. I think there is a sense in which we don't want to have people who polarize. So I suppose in that regard,
as to quote, as an ordinary voter, do you see Hillary Clinton as polarizing or as someone who could bring the country together?
I see her as potentially polarizing. I think it's going to hurt her in the general election, actually. I think that's why in the polls now she's not doing all that well when she's pitted against Republicans.
Well, she's up 5 or 6 points on Rudy.
Well, I thought she was neck and neck the last time I saw her.
No, I mean, Pew had a poll that had them neck and neck in the South. I mean, you can't keep up with these polls, but...
Right. No, but I think the point is she carries along a lot of excess baggage. And, you know, you're too young for this, but I remember back in the early Clinton administration, there was this health care reform.
Oh, I read about it with the book that describes them. And yeah, she did not yield. Bill Clinton wanted to yield. I mean, they were a co-presidency behind closed doors. And but I think, see, I look at it differently.
Well, they campaigned that way. They really had 2 for the price of 1.
Right, but can't you look at it differently? There's growth there. She knows you can't be arrogant with Congress. Maybe she's grown up from there.
Maybe, but she's grown. She's taken positions that have gone. There's a sense that I think many people. Again, this is just an off the seat of the pants discussion here, but the structure was that people, there's a sense of uneasiness that she seems to create in people, and the reason is that you say she's so clearly smart. She's smart. She's clearly very intelligent, but smart in a way that seems like she could easily manipulate. She's changed her political views greatly over the years. I grant you that. I mean, she grew up here in the outskirts of Chicago. She was a Goldwater girl.
But you can't. I mean, you're allowed to evolve your position since you're a teenager.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. But there were some very extreme positions that she took in the late '60s. She's at Yale Law School.
And you think that that's still deep down in her?
Well, I think that.
I mean, I know we're not allowed to read those Marxist papers, but do you think, in a sense, that she still somewhat believes in those, or no? I mean.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look. Everybody experiments in life, and I don't know what her true feelings are. I guess the question is, there's an implicit sincerity factor, and a lot of people seem to pick up that she's a little bit on the angry side. She gets kind of, she has a very clear agenda, and she's a little bit, she conveys a sense of being less than fully open. So just on superficial grounds.
But Al Gore was somewhat open, and then they knocked him in 2000. I mean, there is a reason for her to be cautious.
But Gore had another problem. He had a problem. He was just a piece of wood. I mean, he couldn't respond. I mean, there was no reason for Gore not to have won that election in 2000. He had everything going for him. The economy was
I agree,
going.
and he should have used Bill.
Yeah, well, Bill was a little bit unpopular at the time. Remember, there was the Hillary, the affair
They
with
liked him in
Monica
Florida.
Lewinsky.
He could have won Florida more. You don't think Florida vote? I mean,
Well,
these
possibly.
are all. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know that. But what I do say is that I believe that Clinton, I believe that Gore in that particular case just had such a wooden personality. He just didn't project. People, I think, voted against the personality. So I think, and it may be incorrect, I think in the end, if we were to compare Gore and Bush, it's not at all obvious that Gore was worse than Bush. Gore, in some sense, that very wooden quality was very forthright. And
how about,
probably was smarter than Bush by a big margin. So there's no question that these personality factors, these intangibles, weigh in, and sometimes inappropriately. So I'm not going to defend that kind of aspect of crude politicking.
how about the CEO presidency of a potential Mitt Romney? Do you buy like his Bain Consulting? He knows how to be competent. He knows how to look at the data. Or do you see like severe authenticity issues that would make you skeptical, even with his free market, free trade principles that he believes so much in?
Well, I haven't really followed his campaign that closely to comment on. I mean, I don't see a great source of appeal for Romney right now. I mean, he has a lot of baggage to carry with him. I mean, there's a lot of prejudice against Mormons. I don't happen to share that prejudice, but I think it also is a sense that he's moved radically from the position that he took when he was elected governor of Massachusetts.
Of course.
He's now endorsed. And so there's a sense, again, about a sincerity factor. I don't have a clear read on him, so I really